Hey everybody, we're Dwayne and Annie. Welcome to DNA Across the USA.
This is the first of our new video series, just basically reviewing campgrounds. We're calling it DNA Know Before You Go, basically. So we're making that initial journey to somewhere we've never been before and finding out the things that might help an experienced camper, just to have a heads up. And throughout the series, be teaching you of the little camping nuggets that we've learned that will be really great, especially for inexperienced campers, people who are just getting into it.
This is the kind of thing I wish we had when we started camping, but a little thing called the internet wasn't as popular,
Right. We learned everything around campfires from strangers. So
Yes.
Now it's time for us to impart that knowledge to you through the miracle of the internet.
So let's dive in.
So we made a couple of trips now to a campground recommended by our friends Amanda and Barry to Persimmon Hill, which is in Enid Lake near Oakland, Mississippi.
It's part of the Corps of Engineer parks that are located in northern Mississippi, and we have 3 in this area: Sardis, Arkabutla, and Enid Lake.
So I think the most important thing to know before you go, number 1, is that signage leading into the park can be a little bit confusing. The signs are not huge. And you're going to see a sign that says Persimmon Hill this way, but it doesn't say campground.
No.
And then you're going to see a sign over here that says Wallace Creek Campground. So you might follow the thing that says campground, even though there's something else that says Persimmon Hill.
You may be picking up on the fact that we did that on our first trip out there.
Okay, great news. Everything is very easy to turn around.
Yes.
We discovered there's a camp store at Wallace Creek, so if you need to go get supplies or firewood, you can do that there. But what you want to do is when you're coming into the park, you're going to want to go right over the dam to get to Persimmon Hill.
That's right.
We love Persimmon Hill for its amenities. Not only is it just absolutely beautiful, the tall pines transport us to somewhere else. And the man-made lake is gorgeous, even in the winter.
Regardless of the size of your rig, you're going to love the concrete pads. They are huge and so long, with water, electric, and sewer, 20, 30, and 50 amp hookups. Everything is conveniently located, not one of these where the water is 30 yards behind your site kind of things. They built these sites very well, and lots of spacing between your neighbors.
Every pad has plenty of room for activities, but you might notice that in order to get your rig close enough to the water, sewer, electric, you're not going to be able to park directly on the given area of the pad for that. Something to keep in mind camping at Persimmon Hill in the winter. It is so windy.
So windy.
You might find yourself on the backside of your rig and get a little relief from it, or it may be blowing a different direction and there is no escaping it. This is site 44. You need to be prepared to be stuck inside at times when it's cold and wet at Persimmon Hill.
Take lots of games.
Right.
Another no before you go.
Wi-Fi.
Yes.
At Persimmon Hill, we have experienced pretty sluggish speeds with both AT&T and Verizon.
Yeah, if you're expecting to go out there and do some Call of Duty, some serious gaming,
No.
Forget it.
It's plenty enough to get the things done you need to do, though, and, stream a little Hulu for the kids when they're stuck inside on a cold day.
Or just turn it all off and take your 4-legged furry friend for a walk, because there are plenty of things to do around Enid Lake.
So here we are down at the sort of swimming beach area, which you can just tell in the summer. We have tons of kids splashing in the water. Can't wait to blow up a raft and get out there and paddle around a little bit. And just generally, kind of irritate all of those fishermen out there.
So another note before you go, there is a nature trail that you can take advantage of. And I just want to note, pine needles are beautiful ground cover. They're the way God made it. But if you are hiking through pine needles, you need to make sure you're wearing your good ankle support boots and you're not more concerned with taking pictures and videos than where you're stepping your feet.
Not that anyone in our group has ever fallen and twisted an ankle. It can happen.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Know before you go that most sites have fantastic lake views.
And the ones that don't may be closer to the playground area or
the bathrooms.
That's right.
Yes.
Pretty clean, spacious, and most of all in the winter, warm.
Here's another no before you go. If you're looking to watch television, You're not close enough to Jackson, Mississippi or Memphis, Tennessee to get strong television signals.
Here's something you get from Persimmon Hill. Beautiful sunrises. Yeah, that's my backyard. Look at that.
For satellite coverage, as well as things like sun coverage and shade, this is an important tip for beginning campers. Know before you go that when you camp somewhere and you decide you're going to want to come back, you should go around, note down the sites that you think would be great for you. And we've learned that just a few sites over could be the difference between contact with the outside world via satellite or not.
We really like the site we're in. However, in the winter, it gets a lot of shade. This site right next to us gets a ton of sun, especially on that backside where your water hose is just hanging out all night.
Another know before you go is one that we learned about the hard way.
Oh, many times over. Absolutely. Camping in the winter.
That's when you can potentially get these frozen temperatures that will cause problems with your water. If you're going to do any winter camping, you've got to be prepared for every type of weather. And this past weekend at Persimmon Hill, it got down into the 20s, low 20s. We were prepared with heat tape wrapped around the water hose, just a short length, and then I plug it in. Keep the sensor here on the tap, but then you plug it into your 110 outlet right there, and man, it worked perfectly. We didn't have any frozen water issues, unlike some other campers.
Do not let your hose hang on the ground, especially on the concrete. You keep that raised up, you have a better chance of keeping things flowing and not freezing and cracking anything.
And also make sure your connections are tight. One drip of water will grow into a giant icicle.
We're so happy to have discovered Persimmon Hill Campground at Enid Lake. $24 a night for all these amenities, for all this beautiful nature.
If you would love to book your stay at Persimmon Hill at Enid Lake, you can check it out at recreation.gov.
We hope y'all enjoyed the first edition of DNA Across the USA Know Before You Go.
Know before
if there's anything we missed, something you'd like to know about any future campgrounds that we visit and review, please let us know in the comments.
Subscribe and like.
I knew it was gonna be like this. 1 RV per pad. Don't be bringing in 6 pop-ups for $24 a night, okay? Oh my goodness, look at that cutie. A little vintage cutie. Oh, and look at that. There's a classic. Get me closer to that motorhome. What?
Nice bathhouse.
Yes, yes. Good distance. We'll definitely come check that out. Have a peek inside. Oh, look at it.
And Airstream.
I love it. Americana. Clean it up.